tracks coming. Do you mind if we cut across the Scott? I'm going to go walking for a bit. So guys, I'm going to go for a little walk. So we're going to cut across the Scott and hopefully we do find something.
Inside, just solving the world's problems, but no luck with any adults returning to the den, so there was no action there, and we are just going to make our way back towards Kunyuma now. A lot of the game drive vehicles have got their chance to view them and now have moved off, probably to enjoy a sundowner, which is commonplace here on safari for all of the guests. Both on the morning drive and the evening drive, you up and stop for a leg stretch and coffee and tea in the morning, and often something colder and more refreshing in the evening. So you'll find a lot of the vehicles will be doing that now, and sadly we're not in the best place to show you, but there's a beautiful orange glow to the west, and I can see Jason's going to try his best to show you what's going on over there. But like I say, we don't have a good vantage point. You get an idea of the beauty of the evening being experienced out here, and you'll find a lot of the guides will go to specific high points which are good for sundowners. And as I was saying that now, I've just heard Craig on the Game Drive channel saying that he's stopping off at a spot for puza, and puza is a local African word to mean which means drink, and the guides here like to use a little bit of the local lingo. So as I expected, the guys are making the most of this opportunity to stretch the legs. It is also important to stretch your legs when out on safari, and good guides will get their guests in and out of the vehicle a couple of times during the 3 or 4 hours that you typically spend out on safari. If you seated for 4 hours at a time, you tend to get quite stiff, and it's also just good to get the blood flowing. It is also always an adrenaline rush as soon as you do get off the vehicle, even if you're very close to it. It's incredible how safe and secure you feel when you're on it relative to when you are off. So it does also get the heart beating a little bit faster for a lot of the guests. Interesting that Brent's found some tracks. It's in an area where myself and VM were this morning, and it's the area where, if those of you who were watching remember, there was tree squirrels alarm calling quite insistently, and eventually VM spotted a brown snake eagle in the tree. So we were looking very closely though for any other predators, and I was personally looking on the ground hoping to find a leopard, and it was VM who looked up into the trees and saw the eagle. But just goes to show that leopards will move during the day, and this specific female that Brent's obviously following certainly would have, because we drove through that area and were looking quite closely for any tracks and didn't see any. Which is also good prospects for him, because that means he may just get lucky and find her, because she appears to have not been there too long ago. And now that we're facing the east, there's a beautiful purple tinge on the eastern horizon. Now, something to look forward to with the sighting we're going back to. Just to recap, for those of you who may have joined on quite recently, we did locate a young male leopard, Kunyuma, who's just over 2 years old, and last night he made a kill. It was a baboon kill, and we actually heard the baboons shouting and screaming last night, and actually tried to go and have a look to see if we could find anything, but we didn't want to interfere with the guests that are staying in the lodge, and he made this kill right in front of their rooms. So we couldn't get down to that exact area, but did see some hyena running around there. So it's a bit of a slap on the wrist for me if we're not going there first thing this morning to follow up on what had happened. But anyway, we got lucky and at least managed to find him this afternoon. So that's where we're heading now. We'll be there in just a few minutes. And there's also a hyena there. And the fact that the hyena was there helped us to find the leopard, because we heard Monkey's alarm calling and we're not sure exactly where it was that they were looking, but then saw the hyena from a distance looking up into the tree, and that was a dead giveaway. We were probably a quarter of a mile or more away from the hyena when we were looking at it through the binoculars, and even from that distance we could see it peering up to the tree, and it was from then on a very exciting drive to get there. As we did get there, it appears that Kunyuma had been feeding on the baboon and dropped a small piece of meat that the hyena made off with. And I'm hoping now that he's had a little bit of a break from feeding, that he may resume. And if he does resume feeding, that hyena is going to hear the noise of him crunching through the meat. And what he'll do next is... Oh, you're joking. I've just bumped into some friends of mine. This is awesome. I'm just going to have to excuse myself for a second while I say hello. How's it, guys?
Hi.
How you doing? This is awesome. Let me just see if the other vehicle's ready. Nikki, is Brent back on the vehicle? Okay, copy. I'll make lunch. Okay. Well, for now there is a little one. How's it, guys? Very good. Very good. Did you enjoy the leopard? Okay.
So where's the inn?
Sorry?
The inn?
Yeah, just at the top of the dam. Come, there's no one there. Follow me. Cool. Okay, see you guys now. Awesome. Apologies, folks. I just bumped into a few very good friends of mine, man. Really wasn't expecting to bump into them out here. So... excuse me for the slight delay there, but we don't get to see friends very often. That's one of the disadvantages with this job. We are stuck out in remote places for extended periods of time. So happy to have bumped into, it's actually both old school friends, one from junior school and one from high school, one of which was actually a guide, and we worked at the same camp in the Southern Sabi Sands for 3.5 years, well, in my 3.5 years here. So really happy to see them. And the good news is that I'm not sure if their radio was causing problems, but they didn't have any idea that the leopard was there, and they're so close to it, so they're going to turn around and follow us now. As I did say before I bumped into these unexpected guests, we're just a few minutes away, so try and avoid going anywhere if you did have plans, because I'm hoping we're going to have some great action in the next few minutes. And as you would have heard, Brent was still off the vehicle, so I'm hoping he's having some joy there in following the tracks. All good there, Jason?
Okay.
that baboon in now. Sun's gone.
That's a good idea. So, for those of you who were watching earlier, apologies, we couldn't really get a good shot of the baboon. But as Jason's just mentioned now, because the sun has gone down, we might well I'm certain we will be able to show you some better footage of that. And it's very rare for leopard to kill baboons in the Sabi Sands, at least the leopard that I've viewed. So quite a big event, and it'll be very interesting to watch whether he continues now to hunt them and actively seek them out, because he has that joy in hunting them. Whereas a lot of leopards would shy away from the dangers associated with hunting baboons, because baboons have got extremely large canines, often longer than that of lion and leopard. So it's risky business, and often baboons are also in very big troops. So what that means is that it's one against many, and there could be as many as 30 or 40 adult baboons in this troop that's around at the moment. So let's hope he doesn't get himself into trouble, and it is a reality, but that's why it is so interesting to know that he has killed one, and it'll be so interesting to watch whether it happens again. He may receive his first scars from a baboon if he carries on at this rate. He's currently a flawless young male leopard, just over 2 years of age, but that is certainly going to change in time. And for those of you who were watching yesterday, we managed to see his father, and his face certainly tells a different story. Just checking back there to see if my friends were still following us.
Friends.
And they are. So really happy to be able to share this sighting with them, as well as share it with you all around the world. And we've got a little Ellie. Looks like a young bull. His face and trunk and body is wet from obviously spending some time at the dam. Nikki did send a message, and thanks for sending this info through, saying that there was some hyena or a hyena and some elephants at the dam. It will also be interesting to see if Kunyuma doesn't come down to have a drink. Can't see the hyena anywhere at the dam at the moment, so it may have moved off. That report was from a few minutes ago. Where is the leopard? They've already seen it. My friends have seen it already. They're pointing ahead to me. Oh, here he is. He's just laid down in some very, very long grass. I'm certain he's going to come and have a drink at some point, and that's why he may have come down from the tree. There's a baboon kill in the jackalberry. We heard it last night, heard the commotion. We stay close by to here, yeah. So I'm just updating my friends on the other vehicle exactly what's going on, so they've got the full picture. And also to just give you the full picture, especially if any of you have joined the show more recently. Well, we'll keep on them now because this is a beautiful shot. But Jason can maybe continue zooming out just to give you an idea of where the kill is in the tree relative to where he is at the moment. And it's the dark, big green tree that Jason can now zoom into and show you where the kill is. It's on the kind of midway up the left-hand side of
moving.
this tree, but the leopard's on the move, so at least you've got an idea of the situation we're in here now. And he's clearly in one of his more snarly moods. I'm trying to get my head out the way. And this is such a wonderful way to be spending the evening. Aren't we so lucky? You can also see how close we are to the guest rooms that were in the background there. So imagine sitting on your deck and looking at this. It does happen from time to time. Now, he is slowly edging closer to the water, and I think he's just waiting for it to get a little bit darker to get there unnoticed. But our luck may continue, and we will in all likelihood get to see him drink now. Great shot there, Jason. You may notice how that tree was caked in mud from various animals coming and rubbing themselves on it as they come out of the dam. Absolutely beautiful. He'll be very cautious now because there are hyena around, and he also prefer and try and to go as undetected as possible. We are going to now reposition, so bear with me for a moment. Oh, sorry, running out. How long are you guys here for? I'll give you a call later if I don't see you. Oh, there's another elephant bull approaching us, as you can see, so we'll just try and not interfere too much with his plans. As you can see, so much action here. Elephants, buffalo, he's sniffing us as he comes past, but we'll give him a wide berth. And that way, everyone will remain happy. Let's see if we can get a shot here of him and the leopard in the background there, Jason. There it goes, this is going to be awesome. And the buffalo. Buffalo, elephant and leopard all in one shot. Look at that. Would you believe it? Incredible. And that buffalo's detected the leopard and looks like it may continue to chase it a little bit now. We're going to just hit as close as we can to the water to see it drink. Oh, here comes the buffalo. And it got stuck in the mud as it ran up towards the leopard. Absolutely beautiful.
Is in my ears.
The chattering is coming through very loudly in Romeo's ears, so look at how close Yes, the buffalo is getting to him. Absolutely awesome. And he's not taking any chances. Too good. Well, afternoons like this don't come by very often, so I hope you're enjoying this thoroughly. The fact that we've just seen 3 of the big 5 in one shot is something that doesn't happen every day. We just got a question through from Christy, and Christy's interested to know if leopards will sharpen their claws by scratching them on tree trunks. And yes, they certainly will. Both lion and leopard will maintain their claws by scratching them up against trees. And Christy, I'm sure if you continue watching our drives, you will get to see it happen at some stage. Lion do it more often than leopard that I've seen. Maybe it's simply because there's more lion in a pride and therefore a greater likelihood of seeing one doing that. Cheers guys, enjoy your drinks. Go ahead, Andrew, just myself here. I don't think anyone's making their way. Copy, he is just lying up on the southern side of the dam. He's just had a drink. I'm not sure what he's going to do next. I think that this lapwing could be calling. Copy that, Orbs. You're more than welcome to make your way as well as a third. I think we could be quite close to this blacksmith lapwing's nest, and that's why it may be calling so loudly. So what I'm going to try to do is get away from that nest, and thankfully if we got very, very close, I know it would bomb dive us. We're obviously just in the general area of it. So I'm just going to make sure we try and keep an eye on the bird and make sure we don't drive over its nest. They just lay a few eggs on a shallow scrape in the ground, and therefore are very, very difficult to see. The eggs are also incredibly well camouflaged. So I think we actually going to have to stop and watch this buffalo doing his business while the leopard sleeps in the long grass. He really is getting involved, making sure he's completely covered. Look at this. It's funny how even the biggest and potentially most dangerous of animals out here can also have a cuter, softer side. And this big old boy certainly is displaying that for us. Don't be fooled though, incredibly dangerous animal out here, and they command a lot of respect. Even big male lions will think twice before jumping on the back of these guys because they're incredibly powerful. Not sure what's getting these elephants all worked up. Glad he didn't continue into our car there. Well then, Jason, how's your heart rate going?
It's been worse.
Now I'm just going to help the other guy here. Oh, those are my friends, they're still there. So it's not a new vehicle. friends have driven around onto the other edge of the dam to get a closer view of him. We just got a question through from Kathleen on Twitter, and she's interested to know whether Kunyuma finished his kill, and no, I highly, highly doubt that he would have finished it, and it's merely that he's getting away from that area where he can lie up comfortably, knowing that there's probably not going to be any threat to him, whereas if he lies up in the tree, it's not as comfortable. If he lies at the base of the tree, there's a chance hyena or other predators could arrive because they can smell that kill from huge distances away. So he's just distancing himself to enjoy the evening, and as I say that, I can see him coming back to us. Looks like he obviously hadn't quenched his thirst and is now coming back to possibly do that again. I may have to reverse ever so slightly. Beautiful with the ripples shimmering on his coat. And for those of you who have just joined recently, he did have a little bit of a drink earlier, but then was then chased off by one of these big buffaloes that we've been viewing. Absolutely beautiful. Between the dappled ripples on his body as well as his reflection. Doesn't get much better than this. Now, I'm guessing the elephant were trumpeting earlier because they can smell that baboon kill, and that is possibly what was causing them the distress. Well, now that he's quenched his thirst, let's see if he's not going to head back to do some more feeding. It's very hard to tell. He was feeding not long ago, so he could just be interested in relaxing now. He's in no rush to finish that kill. Well, we got lucky by staying here because I'm just going to update the guys on the radio, so sorry if this torch isn't working well. He's just lying up below me here at the moment. Yeah, definitely for now. The Bumba's also just to my north and west in that big jackalberry. Just got a question through from Virginia in Kentucky, and Virginia is interested to know whether we would intervene in any way if the buffalo that attempted to chase Kunyuma earlier but almost got stuck in the mud while doing so. If he did in fact get stuck there, would we intervene? And the answer to that is no. And it's important for us as humans to intervene as little as possible with the ongoings here. And as sad a day as it would be for that buffalo, imagine the bounty of food that that carcass would provide. Various animals, be it lion, leopard, hyena, vultures, and they all need to eat. And those little lucky breaks when animals do die of natural causes and aren't necessarily hunted down by the predators themselves are lucky breaks, and lucky breaks that can make the difference between raising a litter of cubs or simply making it through to the next meal. So it wouldn't be fair for us to intervene, and the only time that we would intervene is if, of course, man has been involved in the injury or the situation that an animal may need to be rescued from, and or with endangered animals such as cheetah or wild dog. Because of their extremely low numbers in the wild, there may be justifiable reason to intervene to save them. So I hope that answers your question. Tom on Twitter, good evening and welcome. Tom is interested to know whether leopards like specific types of meat, and I don't think so, Tom. I think they prefer easy meals. So you may find that certain leopards may specialize in hunting certain prey species, but that would simply be because there's numerous prey, that specific species would be numerous and therefore easier to catch, or possibly simply that the leopard has mastered the art of hunting a certain animal. So I certainly don't think they are fussy, and have seen leopard feed on tortoises, fish, tiny baby birds out of a nest, fully grown birds, baboons, monkeys, and a host of different antelope. So I don't personally think that they have any specific preferences, and I think out here in nature, any meal is considered a good one. Taking some important time off now to groom himself, and it is so important for all the animals out here to groom themselves. Especially when they're feeding on a carcass and also moving around through the vegetation. There's a lot of burrs that will stick onto their coat, and they need to maintain that. And he's now taking this time off on this comfortable spot where he can relax. He may have had a less comfortable day. He may have spent the whole day up the tree with the hyena below, who knows. Is he going back for another drink? It appears so. He's not heading towards the kill, that's for certain. Well, look at this. This is just too good. Oh, nearly. I'm just going to reverse quickly. And then we are going to have a magical view, so get ready to get your screenshots, because these are going to be some award winners. Now, obviously getting a bit close to that plover again, the plover's nest. What a beautiful view this is, though. goes in a bit of a tricky spot. Will he attempt another sip? He's certainly thinking about it. But he may want to reassess his position that he's decided to drink off. Look at his shadow in the background. This is awesome. Sniffing very intently on the edge of that branch, and who knows what it is, what sense he's processing. I'm sure many animals have rubbed up against that branch, so it'll be a multitude of scents that he's picking up in all likelihood. Going to drive forward again to let this plover rest a little bit, and we can also use the ambient light from the vehicle that's joined us here, which is actually looking a little bit better than our light. That's not really coming back from more drinking. I think it could be. Beautiful. Wow, you don't get much better than this. So you're going to climb back onto this log and be a little bit playful again. It looks like it could be the case. Nope. Go ahead, Orbs. Apologies, Aubrey. I thought one vehicle was leaving earlier, but they were just repositioning. I'm not sure what their plans are. I would like to try and stay if possible. Andrew, I'm not sure who the other guide is, but if you don't mind asking him his plans. Copy, thanks. Sorry, Orbs. What a beautiful view that was. Now, what will he do next? That is the question. What we're going to do is just preempt that he's going to head back towards the kill. So at this stage it appears he may not be. So sorry, right now I'm just trying to get my torch sorted. There's a very small chance you would have heard that elephant's rumbling. You may also hear some bushes moving. So there are some elephants in the area, and he will be cautious of them because you'd rather want to avoid them from being chased. Just going to switch my torch off and hope that the other vehicle turns theirs on. No. Backfired. Sorry, I had your volume down for the last few minutes. I've just got a question through from Angela in Boston. Good evening, Angela, and welcome on board. Angela's interested to know if it's normal to have had so many leopard sightings over the last few drives, or have we just been extremely lucky? A combination. The area that we're in is one of the best in Africa to view leopard. So people that come here often get spoiled, and I would say 95% of guests that spend 3 or 4 nights in the Sabi Sands would leave having seen at least one leopard. In terms of us being able to find them, yes, there's stages where we will see them every day, every drive, different leopards. But then we'll also go for dry patches where we can go for days without seeing them. So I think that gives you kind of the full picture. There is obviously a lot of luck involved, but we are in an area that is renowned for incredible leopard viewing. And there's a few reasons for that, Angela. Firstly, there's a high population of leopards here, so that's fundamental, and that obviously helps us greatly in being able to see them. But you also get other areas of Africa where leopards are just as numerous as here, but are not habituated with the vehicles, and these cats are typically very, very shy and elusive, and can live in and amongst humans without us humans ever seeing them, only possibly fleeting glimpses or their tracks. So the fact that here in the Sabi Sands, for over 50 years now, since the 1960s, people have been coming here and investing a lot of time in leopards and getting them used to the vehicles, never harming them, never feeding them, just fitting in unobtrusively into their lives, and now we get privileged with sightings like this. So it's been a lot of hard work and long hours invested in these animals to get them to the point that they're at now. Aubrey, come in. Aubrey, keep coming straight in. He's just lying up at the edge of the dam. I'll make space. Go ahead, Jan. There's 3 here now. I'm not sure what the other two guys' plans are, but Aubrey is, I think, still making his way here. Copy. I'll let the guys know when I leave. Aubrey, confirm you are going to still be coming? Copy, come straight here. I'll move straight out when you're nearby.
God, I'm moving out.
Okay, cool. Cool, thanks, Andrew. Well, he can still keep coming and then I'll make space for you, hun. No problem.
Lights are all terrible.
No, yours is better than mine. Yours actually looks better than ours, Andrew. Thank you.
The bumper is the base of the sea.
No, upstairs. It's in Fern.
It is the sea, eh?
There were some.
Oh, okay.
There were some, so look around there. Copy that, thanks, Nick.
It's on the way out. Yeah. Sorry. Sorry, lad.
Well, folks, I don't think he is going to do anything. If I did, I would suggest that we stay here and see if any action unfolds. But there are other vehicles that are interested in coming and seeing him, and it is important for us to be as accommodating as possible so that hopefully in the future, when the roles are reversed, we get let into a sighting when we are desperate to see an animal. So it's only fair for us to share this with everyone, and I think it's fair to say that we have had some incredible views of him this evening, and we'll certainly be back here first thing in the morning. We're very close to the camp, and will be, I'm certain, the first vehicle here in the morning, and I'm guessing there's going to be some good action lined up for us then. I don't think he's going to finish the kill throughout the course of the evening, and I'm almost guaranteed that we'll find him here. So this is a great opportunity for us to cut across to Brent's, because Brent has found an interesting little nocturnal creature that I'm sure you'd all love to have a look at.